now to tennis. This was a big story. Serena Williams. It was a bigger story, the fact that Serena Williams was merely returning to play at Wimbledon, her first match in a year. And now it's becoming the next biggest story that she lost yesterday in her first matchup in a year, playing at the All England Lawn Club, the most prestigious tennis tournament in the world, the oldest tennis tournament in the world, Wimbledon. And she lost to Harmony Tan, player ranked 115th in 3 sets. Lost 7-5, 6-1, 7-6, 10-7 in the 10-point tiebreak. A match that lasted over 3 hours. And even Serena Williams actually had a chance to serve for the match. She was up 5-4 in the third set, was serving for the match and couldn't hold on and lost in the 10-point tiebreak. Now, again, her opponent was someone in Harmony Tan who, as I mentioned, ranked 115th, was making her main draw debut at Wimbledon. This would be just the third time that she's advanced past the first round at a Grand Slam. And it always poses the question when you see these greats as they get up in age lose in earlier stages of Grand Slams, whether or not they'll ever return there or get a chance at winning and competing for another Grand Slam. I think that Serena Williams is in an interesting situation because obviously she's 40 years old. She's won 23 Grand Slams, the most ever in the Open era. Obviously, Margaret Court has won 24. But again, the time period that she was playing, there was less competition. We kind of know the differences between the two. And it's not that Serena Williams outwardly said she was going to retire. She didn't dispel retirement, though. She was just unsure about what her future was going to be. And I love Serena Williams. I would love to see her be able to prevail and win another Grand Slam, just like I would Federer. I do think she still has some gas in the tank. I don't think that it is entirely impossible for her to win another Grand Slam. I'm never going to say never with a champion, with a player like that. But I don't see it. I don't see her winning another Grand Slam. And I think the reason is because of the way that she wins points and the way that she's winning matches. There are really only 2 ways at this stage of her career that she's able to win matches. The first is through overpowering her opponents and ending points early, trying to have short point sequences. And the other is through sheer will and competitive spirit and just the aura absorbing her opponent so much that she's able to prevail and triumph, which is a real thing. Because unfortunately, the reality for her is any time points are extended and they become long rallies, she doesn't win those long rallies. She can't win those long rallies anymore, which is understandable why your body kind of atrophies over time. Your endurance isn't quite the same. It wanes, the flexibility, everything goes. It's understandable. She's been playing on the pro tour since technically she was 17, although she's been training for tennis since she was 5. And so you just look at yesterday's matchup, for example. Now, in fairness to her, although it didn't look like she was moving as well, I'm going to give her a pass because, again, she was coming off an injury. She hasn't played an official match in a year. So her mobility, her movement, the rust, that's all going to look a lot more fluid. She's going to look a lot cleaner of a player. Setting aside that, you look at the way that she was playing, and she lost 16 of 24 points on rallies that extended beyond 9 shots. Now, you could say part of that's just an endurance and fatigue thing that she'll get back the more she plays. The other part of it is that's not her style. That's not how she was winning points at the peak of her power. She was winning because she was dominating, just overpowering opponents. The brute strength that she has, the physicality that she plays with, that's what's unmatched. That's what's unrivaled. And so You combine that with the fact that there's some great competition out there. Iga Swiatek, the world's #1 player, has been on a tear. I think she's won 37 straight matches, something crazy like that. And she's gotten close. Her last Grand Slam was the Australian Open in 2017. Now, once she officially gave birth, which, by the way, when she won that Australian Open, she was in the first trimester of her pregnancy, which is pretty unbelievable. It really is outstanding. But since then, since she's given birth to her child in 2018, she's actually in 14 Grand Slams reached the finals 4 times, including 2 other times at Wimbledon, 2018, 2019. So I'm certainly not going to write it off forever, like it's impossible, but I just have my doubts and I have my reservations now. And it's no knock on her because Serena Williams is the greatest female tennis player of all time. She is arguably the greatest athlete of all time, let alone female athlete of all time. And that's not hyperbolic to say that. Men, women, doesn't matter. When you look at sheer dominance in a respective sport, Serena Williams is incredible. And it's just the reality is she's 40 now, coming off a major injury, hasn't played in a year. It's natural that there's going to be a little bit of a drop off, a little bit of a decline. And again, I still think she maybe has a couple more runs in her at some of these majors. I'm not going to count it out, but on the percentage scale of 10 being yes, I think she's going to win, 1 never going to win another Grand Slam again, probably more at a 3, 2.5, 3 at this point. I would love to be wrong. I would love for nothing more than to be wrong and for her to win, because that's how much appreciation I have for her and the sport. And I love seeing great players continue to rewrite history and to break records or to set new records as well. I would love for all of that and then some for her. Just have my doubts about it. Just have my doubts about it.